My name is Tim Flagg and I'd like to welcome you to this afternoon's webinar entitled How to Create a Digitally Capable Organisation. So, I'll pass over to Mike Curry, who is the founder and CEO of the ADBL.
What is digital? In my experience, you ask 10 different people what is digital, you're going to get 10 different answers. And I've heard a number of those answers, and Tom with me has heard a number of those answers as well. But what I find quite helpful is actually sort of not to answer the question, but to think about actually what is the relevance of the question. So what is the digital imperative? What is the sort of the reason that you need to think about digital, and what is your response? This is something I've pulled out of our diploma. This comes from Module 1, this bit here. We talk about the 7 different lenses on the digital imperative. These are the sort of things that businesses need to think about when addressing the digital challenge, and they need to then prioritise which of these things they need to respond to, and they need to formulate their response.
So, now I'd like to introduce Ben Rowland, who is the founder of Arch Apprentices, who will be talking about stepping up to the Digital Skills Challenge. And again, one of the themes that came up last week at the Google event was all about new talent, and so I'm sure that's a theme that you'll be able to pick up on. Ben, over to you.
Thanks very much. Hi everyone, good afternoon. So I've been asked to talk a little bit about what we've learned through our experience with Arch, and our apprentices can really, as it were, oil the wheels that Mike has just been talking about. So those are the big cogs that need to turn in the right way and together, but actually how do you make that happen in a way that is easy, in which you can bring the organisation with. I just wanted to share some reflections that we've had on what are some of the key skills at quite a sort of day-to-day level that will make a difference to your ability, your organisation's ability to really get the benefit, realise the promise of becoming digital. This is, when people say, so what is it that a digital apprentice learns? What are the day-to-day skills that you expect someone who's starting their career in 2015 to have? And by implication, what skills, day-to-day skills do you need people throughout your organisation to have?
Over to you, Tom. We wanted to get your insight and experience working in the digital skills sector, particularly from a government perspective, but also before that you're working with large organisations. So just building on what Mike and Ben have been saying, it would be really useful to get your takeaways.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I would say is that the title of this webinar is Building a Digitally Capable Organisation. And I would say, based on my experience with in private and public sector, so working with a ministerial department of over 100,000 staff or a startup, one of the most important things is to really understand the challenge. And what I mean by that is, still, unfortunately, a lot of people are associating digital still with digital marketing or social media strategies, etc. And we all know in this forum that it is much bigger than that. We're past the point of thinking about the impact. It is disrupt or be disrupted now. There's no two ways about that. So we know it's about new ways of working, new ways of learning, a collaborative culture, and it's impacting every department in a company.